Hi, Angela. Hi, Antoinette. Thank you so much for engaging in this ELO process. Before we enter this new learning space, let's just remind ourselves what the ELO process is and kind of best practices or things that you find helpful when you observe an ELO classroom. So in your own words, what is ELO?
I know it stands for effective learning observation. So we must be looking for things that are most effective in the classroom.
Yeah, I would agree with Angela. I don't have anything to add. Effective learning, right? What are those strong learning practices?
Exactly. And we want to remind ourselves that we're shifting away from that kind of traditional mindset where observers often look at teachers and teacher moves. And in this ELO process, the kind of feedback or impact statements are going to be focused on the learning of students. So learning was most effective for, and learning could be more effective. One way that I like to think about it before we watch a video of learning or go into a classroom where students are learning is to think of it into three ways. First is the quantity of students that are being impacted, the evidence of student learning, and then thinking about the impact. So when you're watching the learning in a classroom, think about, are you looking at some of the students, a few students, the whole class, or an individual student? And what exactly are those students doing or saying? When we actually go into an ELO observation, this is supposed to be something that's a peer-to-peer collaboration where we're fostering a culture of continuous learning. So the purpose and rationale of why we're only going to be viewing a video or going into a classroom is that we don't want to stay any longer than about 10 minutes. And we like to encourage folks to think about not only going into core content classrooms like an ELA class or a math class, but going into any part of the school day because there's learning everywhere. So for example, you might want to do an ELO during a morning meeting, or you might want to do an ELO if we're back in the traditional brick and mortar, doing transitions from the classroom to lunch or recess.
Okay.
Great. So let's get started. Let's go into this classroom. And in your ELO learning form, you can just take notes on the top of evidence that you see where learning is happening and where learning might be more effective.